Well, it's been a year. Here we are in the front garden. I didn't think this year it came by so quick. A lot has changed. So over the last year, we have extended our homestead. We went from just a little bit of gardening space that we had on the upper balcony to we are now extended into the flat part of my driveway. We are starting to grow a flower garden as well that is going to also extend down to the front of the house. So in this year we have learned a lot, we've gained a lot, we've also lost a lot. This last year on the homestead has definitely taught us a lot about living on the land and the different microclimates that are here in Southern California. So where I'm at, I'm in zone 10A. There are parts of Southern California, like up in Los Angeles, that are 10B. If you're a gardener, it just basically means like this is how your seasons go and what makes for the most efficient growing cycle for your plants. But inside each of these growing zones, there are microclimates. So while I think most of San Diego is a zone 10A, if I were to live by the beach, I would have a different growing climate than I do here where I'm at, which is a little further inland. I've had to learn how to base my growing cycle around a ridiculously hot and sometimes crazy weather, which isn't always helpful, and our dirt isn't really the best. So it takes up a lot of amendments and factoring in things to make my plants grow. A lot of my plants are actually grown in potting soil that I pick up from our local nursery or I pick it up from Lowe's. So unlike most of my gardening friends that are having to pre-start their seeds in greenhouses, here where I'm at, I can basically start everything year round until it comes to the summer, because even a lot of our heat weather resistant plants don't really do well in 114 degree heat. Last year I lost a lot of my crops. I had a bunch of tomatoes, I was growing carrots and strawberries and grapes. And grapes usually do really well out here in California. We have a bunch of wineries out here, but for some reason last year, I don't know if maybe since it was just my first year trying to grow grapes or what, they didn't flourish and they actually died. A lot of my plants that I do get out here, as I started last year, I got as seedling starts from our local nursery. Now that's not to say that I still don't currently use seedling starts, because I do. It just means that I have learned a little bit more this year, in the last year, to be able to predict what type of amendments we're going to need. So beyond the garden and everything that had happened, honestly my gardening issues weren't nearly as bad as everything that we dealt with animals this year. In the last year we have lost countless birds, we've lost 2 rabbits, but we did end up gaining some stuff this year too. We gained 2 adorable little goats, Artemis and Hecate, within the last month. So close to our 1-year mark, we ended up expanding our homestead animals to these 2 adorable little goaties. They are mini Nubians, so that means they are half Nigerian dwarfs and they are half Nubians. So adorable, adorable, adorable little babies. And the purpose for them is they're going to be bred for milk to help sustain our family, as well as for meat purposes as well. If they are not used for meat for our family, than for somebody else, or if somebody wants their own kid, which is what a baby goat is called, then we will obviously give them the first pick as well. In terms of birds, we have lost a couple of babies just to variances in things with baby chicks. We lost 2 baby polkies within the last week, and then we have lost countless baby turkeys with little girls first clutch that was all hatching this week, and a lot of them were crushed or suffocated in her hatching process, so it wasn't by any fault of her own. We also ended up culling 2 of our turkeys, which is the whole purpose of why we got them. They are meant to help sustain our family, and of course everybody's always treated with the utmost care and respect. If you guys have been following us for a long time, you guys have seen all the process that we have done with caring for these animals. These animals are not treated like a commercial livestock. They are members of our family and are treated as such until their purpose has been fulfilled. Last year, sometime in, I want to say it was August, we got our first little batch of Rex rabbits. We had Steelix, Evie, Umbreon, and Zebstrika. Unfortunately, Umbreon died due to a freak accident with her hutch, and then Zeb had died from a heat stroke when we had those really bad fires in September. It was really traumatizing and really, really awful, to be honest, and it took us until January to even start trying to re-up our breeding stock, in which case we got Onyx, who was born in November, and we got Mimikyu, who was born in the last year. We have also done some upgrades to our chicken run as well. There is a video coming for that soon, but within the last month, my boyfriend has added this gate here as well as the gate all the way down at the end to protect crops. So we are now going to start planting up here. So up here we're going to end up having our corn, which is already growing, and we'll have pumpkins, loofahs, potatoes, and peanuts. How'd y'all get out? Come on. So also within the last year, we have added 2 extra coops to our little chicken run. We have this big one over here, which is where all of our silkies are going to go. We're doing silkie and polishes, which are going to breed and make a teeny tiny cute little floofy bird called a polkie. Super adorable. And then we also, entirely different story, but there's a teeny tiny coop. Can you guys like barely see the roof over here? That was meant to hold 6 chickens according to the Amazon listing. It barely held a silkie. So for now, that area is just going to end up being like a sick bird hideaway kind of thing, or maybe just leave it open for like extra shade during the summer. We have effectively hatched 3 baby turkeys this year with little girls first clutch, and we ended up having to get some baby polkies from my neighbor when Setsuna lost her only baby. We ended up hatching 6 birds total from our stock. So we had 3 barnyard mixes and 3 white silkies that ended up being hatched. And all except 2 of those birds went to different homes. We kept 1 silkie who we have named Mina, and then we kept 1 of our barnyard mixes that we have named Wanda. within the last month or so, we have started to let the chickens free range when we are out here. So most people, when they think free ranging, it's exactly what it sounds like. There's no crates, no cage, which technically our birds aren't really in crates or cages all day. They are left in this giant 13 by 30 run all day, and they can run where at least they're safe from predators, they're safe from the dogs, and basically they're safe from running away. Because even though we do basically live in suburbia, we still have a main road. Back behind me, that giant clutch of trees over there usually has a coyote like den over there, and then there is all the way up at the top of our hill, there is some tall grass where some coyotes have been known to hang out. Hi. So we also ended up getting bees this year. We got them, honestly, not that long ago. This is something that is from a previous video, but my boyfriend has been wanting to do for a while. So we basically bit the bullet and have bees up in our orchard. And that's another thing we started this year, is we started to expand our orchard. When we first moved onto our property, we had 2 orange trees that we knew of. So we had the one orange tree up here and the one up front. There's also 2 other sorts of citrus trees. The other one, when we moved in, never had leaves on it, never bore fruit, and now it's suddenly bearing leaves, and I've seen one teeny tiny little what looks like potentially could be an orange. We also have another tree that I think is a lime tree or possibly a lemon tree. I have never seen much fruit off of it, and honestly I forgot it was even there. And like I said, we also had another orange tree in the back that we also forgot about. There's also another tree, so if you guys see over my shoulder, there's this little like house thing. It's the old goat house, which needs to get moved. Behind that is a tree that we also forgot kind of existed because we've never seen it with leaves, or did have leaves, and we just never paid attention to it. But we found out that it is an almond tree. So when we moved on the property, we had 4 types of fruit-bearing trees, and we have added a plum, a peach, an apple, a pineapple, guava, and a pomegranate tree to start our orchard. So what's next on our farm for this year? So this year we're hoping to breed Onyx, who is our buck, with at least Mimikyu. She will hopefully be bred within the next month or 2. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, Evie and Steelix are still fertile. We haven't had any breedings off of them just due to unfortunate timing of last year of when we lost our buck to the fires and their breeding age. So hopefully we haven't missed out on that window. So we hope to breed them. And then I am starting the journey on breeding and raising polkies. So currently I have 3 little black polkies. They're so freaking adorable. They are straight run, which means they're not sexed. So I don't know if they're male or female, and I won't know until they're about 3 or 4 months old. So I'm hoping to grow that flock. And I also have 16 Bantam Polky eggs sitting in my incubator right now. So hopefully at least one of them produces me a roux of nice quality to try and better this breed. Hi.
Hello. Look at your little faces.
Oh, be careful.
Oh, be careful, little Pokey.
We also got 5 rare breeds of birds almost 2 weeks ago. They are Crevicore, Whiting True Blues, Whiting True Greens, Russian Orloffs, and a Silver Phoenix. They are all hens, so unfortunately they won't be bred, but I'm hoping to be able to get some really nice colored eggs that are not just varying shades of brown, because we are looking to get our small homestead registered with the USDA and being recognized as a farm. We are hoping to increase our crop production to be able to also supply to local farmers markets and those in the area that are needing just some fresh produce. We're also hoping by fall this year we have our first honey harvest and our first almond harvest, because our almonds should be ready by September or August.
It's a Pokey. It's not happy.
Yeah, because it wants its brother and sister. I'm hoping possibly later this year. I have to do some more research on it, but hopefully we will also be breeding Hecatine Artemis. I'm not entirely sure if they're being bred this year, if I will breed them next year after they turn 1. I need to do a little more research on that. But we do not at this time plan on adding any other breeds of animal to the farm. So we've got our chickens, we've got our turkeys, we've got our goats, and our bees. Realistically, I would like to add some kuni pigs or some other type of small adjacent pigs, but I don't think our land at this point is proper for the animals because it goes uphill, so we would have a really hard time finding a nice comfortable spot to pen down the pigs. So that is our plan for this upcoming year. We're also obviously hoping to add a flower garden, which I am starting up in the front of the house, either just for decor or to possibly also start selling some flowers. We'll see how that goes. I don't have any food. So I'm hoping to add some more trees to the orchard. And as I go throughout the years, learn more and more about this land that we're on and being able to properly work the land to be able to get a better yield. So that is going to do it, guys. Thank you for being with us for this year. And if you are new, be sure to hit the subscribe button, thumbs up, like, leave comments down below, follow us on Instagram at TheCompoundZoo, and watch how we change throughout the year and go back and see how far we've come. And thank you guys so much for this wonderful year and to many more. Bye, guys.